Hey, what's going on, DZ team? It's been a minute since I posted on YouTube. Been a lot of things I've been working on. So, we created an online program for shooting fundamentals, and what's going to be coming to follow after my little intro here is you're going to see that pretty much one of those sessions 100% for free, and then in our modules, and then I'm going to have a link for it down below to go and take our online program. What's different from ours from everybody else is that you're allowed to take a quiz as well to make sure that you retain the information. Amazing for new shooters. Yes, you can watch something on YouTube over and over and over again. There's a million other gun instructors that do it 100% for free and give you all of the tools, but we will give you that quiz to make sure that you at home can retain that information, because if you don't retain the information, it's pointless, and a lot of people don't want to go back to videos to rewatch them. So just keep that in mind. But without further ado, let's go into the shooting fundamentals module that we've created for our website. Alright, welcome to the online program. For this first one, we're going to talk about grip. Grip is vital to when we start talking about shooting fundamentals. It's one of the most important things when it comes to shooting, because if you don't have a proper grip, everything else is going to kind of fall out and not make sense. So I'm using my CERT pistol here, which we have on our site. You can purchase this as well, this exact one. And so for first one, we want to talk about grip. Right, so we grip the pistol this way, just straight up, you know, fingers off of, not in the trigger well, playing with the trigger, anything like that. It is high up on the frame. What we want to do, because we notice that there's some slack here, right? There's some open area, and so we want to fill this area. So when we start filling this area, we're going to take our left hand and we're going to fill up this spot and essentially kind of start pointing with our thumb. If we see a target downrange, or if I see my target right here, what I'm able to do is point at him with my thumb. And so I'm going to take up this space. I'm going to grab my hand and kind of slide it up, curling my other fingers at the bottom of the trigger guard, my thumb pointing forward. So now I have something that looks just like this. Comes around, and my dominant shooting hand, that thumb is laying on my support thumb. And so that way, when I go and present, I start to create a vise, and the hands are kind of doing this all the way out to my target. So I come here and get my proper grip, and I start presenting out, so that way I can pull the trigger and take my accurate shots. The issue a lot of people do, and the things that I see a lot, is one is this called like the teacup thing, and you'll notice how there's not a lot of space here to kind of play with. So what I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to go live here and I'm going to shoot some live rounds to demonstrate the difference between shooting this way, the difference between shooting a weak grip, maybe even something close to what we talked about, maybe with your thumbs crossed over, and then how I properly did it. And notice my thumb is touching the slide. That's because when we're shooting right-handed, it tends to go up and left when recoil comes up this way. So when you press back down with your support hand to allow it to go right back in and settle back on target. So let's go live, let's put on our gear and demonstrate those both techniques and how they operate. All right guys, put on our shooting equipment. And what I don't want you to worry about is the target. I don't want you to worry about where my rounds are going quite yet. I just want you to see the pattern on which, when I shoot, how the gun operates and moves. So I'm going to shoot a couple rounds close up. First one is going to be the teacup motion, and I'll slow it down so you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard with a extended base plate. I'm going to shoot like this, how some people shoot. We're not even talking about stance or trigger pull or anything like that, just grip alone. Okay, so alright, now we're going to shoot with a proper grip. Coming up here, high and tight, go straight out. Alright. And so with those two things, you'll notice how recoil operates a little bit differently. You'll see that sometimes it moves a little bit more with a teacup motion rather than really wrenching down and do that. So real quickly, to overview it and finish this online program for this section, we're going to grab our firearm this way, make sure our muzzle's still, it's a live gun, right? So we want to point it in safe directions. Take our left hand and make sure we point with our thumb, and our finger can touch the slide and high up, and so we can present our target. go and train that. Take a few seconds to practice that before moving on to the next subject, and I'll see you in the next session.